In this one, I'm bringing you my most anticipated deck from the new Marvel Superheroes set, and that is Azorius Heroes. A deck that, when I first put it together, I was very unsure about the power level and the synergies in the deck. I wasn't sure if it was going to be powerful enough to be competitive in the current meta. Well, after some playtesting, I think I can confidently say that there is some real magic behind this deck. It has been performing so much better than I would have expected, and I think in the future we will see a real Heroes deck being competitive on the ladder once people start tuning these decks a little bit more, figuring out the right combination, figuring out the right color combination, because just having solid rate creature cards along with some really good support cards makes for some powerful decks. So I don't really want to talk about everything that's going on in this deck because it would take too long in the intro. You will see it in the gameplay, but I do want to gloss over everything very briefly. So we do have one CMC Heroes, two CMC Heroes, and three CMC Heroes. Kid Loki, Nick Fury, and Agent Maria Hill are in the one slot. Agent Maria Hill and Nick Fury both have 2 power. These 2 cards then work very well with Helicarrier Strike and We Say Thee Nay. We Say Thee Nay has been performing so well for me. I think opponents that see like a creature spam type of deck strategy going on, they don't expect that deck to be holding back counter magic, and I have blown out some great devious cover-ups, some Day of Judgments, and so forth. In the 2 slot, Agent Phil Coulson puts +1/+1 counters on things. Jennifer Walters makes it so that opponents can't cast things on your turn. Spectacular Spider-Man Flash protects your team with its bottom ability to give hexproof and indestructible until the end of turn. And the Wondrous Wasp also has Flash, 2 on flyer, taps down a creature from an opponent and removes a ability from it until she is removed from the field. Wondrous Wasp is pretty sweet. These 2 cards in particular, Spectacular Spider-Man and the Wondrous Wasp, work very well with We Say Thee Nay because we can hold up this counter magic while still having something to do on our opponent's turn if they don't give us something that we would want to counter. In the 3 slot, we have Sam, Captain America Wings of Freedom. This guy pumps up our team when he attacks in, obviously going to work very well with some of the +1/+1 synergies in the deck. Then we have Steve over here, Super Soldier Captain America, protects our team, protects himself with a shield counter. And then we have T'Challa. T'Challa also has Flash, works with Spectacular Spider-Man, the Wondrous Wasp, and We Say Thee Nay, of course. Then, whenever a player draws their second card each turn, you draw a card. One quick note about this one, you have to make sure that you have know the distinction between draw a card and put a card in your hand, because in current standard, there are cards like Opt that will draw a card, but there are also cards like Sleight of Hand that is going to just put a card in your hand. Black Panther only works with the first one where the opponent is actually drawing a card. And then if you do get the Black Panther side on the field, well, King T'Challa is going to go crazy. Then rounding things out, Origin of the Avengers. I did very well with this card in my enchantment deck. This thing's just fantastic. First chapter, Scry 2. Second chapter, cheating a creature onto the field or drawing a card. And then chapter 3, pumping your team. And then practice offense. Of course, you've been killed by this. You know exactly what practice offense does. In the lands, the only things to note, Avengers Tower and Starting Town give us a little bit of flexibility on our colors because technically we are a 5-color deck. Jennifer Walters here has green in her transform cost, and Nick Fury does have 5 colors in his power-up ability. So that is the deck. We're going to hop into some games and see just how well these heroes can perform. See you over there. All right, time for some superheroes, and hopefully I'll find the energy. I am already absolutely exhausted. The intro was tough today. I don't really talk about this very often, but once in a while, just cannot get my intros to work. And I think today might have been the worst intro recording part yet. They were too long. I was really stumbling over my words. I just couldn't figure out the right things to say. And then when I finally did get it all recorded, wouldn't you believe it? You know what happens? You look over at the OBS and it's not recording. It was recording at some point, and then I must have clicked stop recording. I don't know what happened, but it's just brutal. Anyways, we're into the game. We're hoping that things work out. We're hoping to see Conan. I was gonna say we're hoping to see some people doing something. We need lands, like, no doubt. Hoping to see people playing with some of these new cards, but I said this in my last video when I played the enchantment deck, and I'm gonna say it again now. In my experience playing these new cards, everybody on the ladder in Mythic, everybody's just playing. Everybody's just playing Landfall. So I can't block this, right? Because creature's power less than this creature. Do I really want to throw Nick in front of the 2/2? Probably. Nick Fury's not really doing enough for me. So go for it. Boom. And we found a land. That's good. And we get to put Captain America on the field, which is actually a pretty good creature to have out. Now, do I want to also put the other origin of the Avengers out or the Wondrous Wasp? And I think it's probably tapping down this Elusive Otter with the Wondrous Wasp. What I think is going to happen. It would be really nice if they spent a turn buffing up their Elusive Otter to like a 4/4 or something like that so they can get around the Captain America. And then maybe we can flash in the old Wondrous Wasp. I'm trying to remember her name. Hank Pym and Janet. I got there. All right. Flow state from the opponent. That's going to happen. They get to draw one card. One card's better than two. Now, this is something I talked about. This is not draw. Put one of them into your hand. It's incredible how many cards in Standard right now are put into your hand. So it's a surprising amount of cards that are that. All right, Wondrous Wasp. Tapping down the Elusive Otter. And this Hollowed Fountain actually pretty great because now we can put the second origin of the Avengers on the field. We can hold We Say Thee Nay, and we can find an Agent Phil Coulson. Is Agent Phil Coulson going to be good enough? Yeah. I honestly think probably we're going to get in for 7 damage. I don't imagine the opponent's doing anything here. That's cool. Oh, okay. So I think I had a misunderstanding about what shield counters do. If a permanent with a shield counter on it would be dealt damage or destroyed, remove the shield counter. So just dealing the damage, it doesn't need to deal lethal damage. I think probably in my enchantment video, I probably said if it deals lethal damage, but it's just any damage. That's the first time I've ever had an opponent just do like not lethal damage to Captain America. Kind of interesting. There's Sleight of Hand, another card that putting something into your hand rather than actually drawing the card. Elusive Otter is still locked down as well. But if we can get Phil on the field and Phil starts, I think we counter it. I think we keep Janet around. I think it is Janet, right? Or is it a different Wasp? I know they have different, obviously, Hank Pym is not Ant-Man, the only Ant-Man. There is Paul Rudd Ant-Man. I wonder if I don't know if they've introduced new Wasps. I'm not up to date on that Marvel stuff. I think we're going to decline. And we're going to draw Helicarrier Strike. And we're just going to put out Agent Phil. We're going to attack in, of course. And now we have this Helicarrier Strike that, although limited on what it can do. Ooh, wow. I'm a little surprised at the opponent sacrificing their Elusive Otter, but maybe they don't have a way of getting rid of Wondrous Wasp. So they toss it in, knowing that we're going to have quite a bit of damage coming in next turn. Next turn, if they, like, let's say just use their mana to draw or something, we're going to get +3 on everything and then attack in and then get another +2. So we were bringing in an extra 5 points of damage on top of the 9 that we already had on board. So that worked well, and beating Izzet's cool. We'll see if this keeps going. Game number 2 against Johnny. Man, I really want heroes to be a thing. Opening hand, what do you think? It looks maybe good. We'll try it. Helicarrier Strike. I don't know about this one. I think that's going to be one of the cards that I think probably needs to be changed. It's going to work out quite well in this situation right now because we have Grand coming in on us, and I think I'm just going to fire it off before they get the loot. Yeah, because if they maybe loot into a, maybe they could loot into what do you want to call it? Quench. There, got it. Maybe they could have countered it. I don't know if that was right or wrong. We'll see. It meant that they had to have the Quench in hand. It probably didn't matter both ways. It would have been about even. Avengers Tower can go onto the field, and I don't know if it's gonna be. I think it's just Origin of the Avengers. The Origin of the Avengers means that next turn we can get both caps on the field, and I think I need all of these cards. So next turn, we're going to go... I'd rather have the We Say Thee Nay in hand next turn, just in case things start to look even more dire. I don't know what the opponent's on because it's a Lessons deck. Ooh, the opponent... Ouch. Missing their lands. I was going to say it's a Lessons deck, but they are also playing Traumatic Fatigue and Stock Up. And I'm not familiar with these cards being mixed in with Lessons. So, okay, quick one there. That last game was a little bit of a shame because I think it would have been a cool one to actually see how it played out. We had the origin of the Avengers. It was not clear whether or not I was going to be... Oh, yeah, okay, it's fine. We don't have the mana for Wondrous Wasp, but we do have the mana to put out Nick Fury. I think Nick is fine over Maria Hill. I would rather them kill Nick Fury than Maria Hill. Oh boy, we got... That's interesting. Let's do this. Agent Phil, because if we can end up getting Maria and Wondrous Wasp on the field next turn, actually kind of good for us. Yeah, thank you. Actually really good for us. All right. Now we can pump up everything, and I think what I want to do is I want to save the We Say Thee Nay, just in case they have something extra scary and like a board wipe here. That's fine. Okay, what happens here? Does this actually wipe out the ability? No, they still have the sorcery that they can cast. That's interesting. So we are drawing so well. This is actually working out beautifully. Another We Say Thee Nay, and Captain America. Oh my god, it's fantastic. So we draw this, we put that onto the field for free. Yeah. And we attack in for everything. Because they're not going to have the mana to pay for... Oh. Whoa, that was a lot of damage. I didn't expect that to be lethal damage. Holy cow. Good job, She-Hulk. Another Johnny opponent. Interesting. Well, I gotta say, it's been smooth running so far. I don't expect it to continue to be smooth. So here's an interesting thing to kind of talk about, I suppose. I don't know how this deck is awkward because of the overabundance of heroes, or not heroes, legends. Obviously, legendary has become like a bigger talking point, I think, in general in Magic days among Magic creators, and that I hear the MTG Goldfish people, guys, talk about it quite a bit. Oh, what a draw. Yeah, they definitely talk about it quite a bit because there has been talk of just getting rid of the legend rule in communities, I suppose. Some people are for just doing away with it and allowing people to have any number of legendary creatures on the field. You want to have 4 Bill Coulsons, go ahead, do it. And it's tough because nowadays, especially with Universes Beyond, and whether you are an enjoyer or a hater of Universes Beyond is here, and it's here to stay, I believe, at least for the next little while. And Universes Beyond is one of those things that seems to mean that we will have legendaries. It's just like part of Universes Beyond. Without a doubt, more and more and more legendary creatures. By the way, we are absolutely going to pose our opponent here. That's annoying, actually. I could counter it. No, let's just play it safe. We're going to play it a little bit safe. We would have had lethal damage with the practiced offense and the town greeter, or without the town greeter on the field, with pumping everything up with Phil. But I don't think I could risk them having a follow-up spell. I don't know. I think it was fine to ease up a second. That's fine, right? Anyways, what do you think? Should the legendary rule disappear? Because it is getting awkward with deck building, you know, having multiple Phil Coulsons in the deck. Like, how many do you put in? Do you put in full play sets nowadays, or do you just go with a little bit of a softer number? It's a little tough. Okay, Jennifer is fine, but not really what I want to see. But I still think we're going to be okay. I'm going to attack. They'll block Spider-Man. I think I probably tap Agent Coulson here to get one more point of damage in with Maria. And then all we need is for this We Say Thee Nay to stop a Kavaro Reanimator, which they don't even have in their graveyard right now. What is it called? Lastbringer Reanimator is what I'm saying. Lots of thoughts, and like I said, I am wiped out because of that intro, and it's early and things are weird. But still, I want to see people playing new stuff. I don't want to see... Why are you... okay, I guess it is kind of getting close to the end of the ladder. The ladder is going to be ending in just a few days. So maybe somebody like Johnny Boy here is eager to climb up into a higher ranked ladder position. But they just got heroed. And that's gotta suck. I hope they didn't lose. I kind of hope they lost a lot of rating there. Get out of here, Kavaro. It's not a Kavaro anymore. Get out of here, Dr. Octopus. How much nerd credit or comic book credit or whatever did I just lose by calling him Dr. Octopus? After I said it, I'm like, it's not Doc. It's Doc Ock or Dr. Otto Octavius, I suppose you want to say his full name. Fine. But I think I may have just misnamed him. I'm sorry. This hand looks a little sketch, but I do like the combination of Spectacular Spider-Man and We Say Thee Nay. So we'll try it out, and hopefully we find an opponent that is doing something different, and it kind of looks like that's not the case. I'm putting out the Hollow Fountain Shocked In, just hoping that I can get a cheeky Helicarrier strike. Helicarrier, man, I want to like it. I want to like it so much, but it has just been awkward. It's the one of the cards in the deck, the main card in the deck, that I think is just not super jiving with me. So, Helicarrier, though, it takes down the Moon Shadow, so that's some pretty good news. I suppose I could put out Jennifer, or I just hold up We Say Thee Nay or Spectacular Spider-Man. Maybe that's a safer way to go about things, since I do have the flash option. This is probably going to be cool but rude. Iron Shield Elf. Yeah, I think it's a fine card to get rid of. We need a land. We need land. It would have been nice to have a land last turn, of course. Best I can do is a We Say Thee Nay. Okay. Let's see if I can run the opponent down just through sheer frustration. These We Say Thee Nay without a creature on board are losing value so quickly. The opponent's making land drops. They could also make their fourth land drop this time, I believe. I think that was last turn. And if that's the case, then we can't even counter a 2 CMC Iron Shield Elf or Cool But Rude. The Bloodghast. Bloodghast, okay. Okay. Let's get Spidey on the board. That now, if Spider-Man survives, they do have potentially Burst Lightning mana open here. But no Burst Lightning. Dang. So I've gone this far holding up We Say Thee Nay, but now I don't have the creature to flash out, and I feel like my deck is just betraying me with this draw. Am I going in? No, we're not going in with Spectacular Spider-Man. The question is whether or not I want to put the Origin of the Avengers on the field to fix the top of my library, but this might be like one of those moments where it just gives the opponent the opportunity to actually squeak in something that's really important, and I think I might want to just hold these up. I can take a little bit of damage, it's fine. Yep. Okay. Still at 14. It's not the end of the world, but yeah, I think we may have met our match, and our match is our deck refusing to cooperate. Feels so bad not having anything to do there. Okay, well, okay, land. We need another land, though. I am still too afraid of something like a Cool but Rude. Hitting the field can really put the opponent into just a position where they can win. So I think I'm going to just pray that I find the 4th land, and then we can go out with Jennifer or the Origin of the Avengers. And then we say the nay. I don't want the Iron Shield Elf on the field. It gives them the unlimited discard. Yeah, I don't. Is this the right? I don't know what to do here. But I've been holding it up. If I've been holding it up, I may as well use it. Iron Shield Elf just is kind of annoying. Okay, it worked. Land. Not a land. I think I have one more turn, of Dirtling. Or I could put out Captain. You know what? Let's just get Captain America on the field this time. It has First Strike. First Strike is going to be very powerful against this Bloodghast. And even the Marauder Mako. Just not hitting the lands. Really brutal. How many cards deep are we? 13. They have removal. Requiting Hex. Maybe no, that's not going to work. Burst Lightning. Erode. Oh. Okay. Sure. Land. we got the land the hard way. We had to pay 3 mana for it. These double practice offense really sucks in hand, especially when the opponent has now 2 removal spells to remove both of our creatures. But next turn, Origin plus we say the nay is okay. I feel like I'm going to get ground down because we're so... Oh my goodness. Oh, it's done. It's so done because they're going to be able to do that next turn. So no, it's done. GG. All right, that game sucked, but that's just an example of how lands are important. Land is important. I hope you learned something valuable from my last game. If I have one piece of advice from you, it's draw your lands. Just do it. So we can. This hand looks. Oh man. We are a little light on lands. I think it's like 22. We can go turn 1, Gleaming Bastion into Kid Loki, but then that means that we don't have blue mana for the rest of the game because we don't have a plains or an island, and we don't have a basic land. I think it's too poor to keep. Throw it away. And now we are praying that our mana's better. No more mana, please. We are against a probably Jeskai control player. We do have the things are going so well, and now it's just like all the lands or none of the lands. Isn't that just so fun? I think T'Challa over there was a pretty good draw. T'Challa. Let's get him out. Counter. No more lies. Boo. But when you're sitting here with a whole bunch of 3-drops, what are you going to do? I think I just run it out again. We do have double ups on Sam, so that's fine. They can't remove it this time around because of Ward 1. But they probably have maybe Erode? Kind of what I'm feeling. Oh, boy. So the opponent now in a situation that's a little bit awkward for them. Am I going to get just the Origin of the Avengers out? So do I care that they're hitting my Sam here? And I think the answer is no. Let's grab this, sure. And then we go Origin. Fix the top of our library. We probably don't want this. Wondrous Wasp is Flash, but is she good enough? What do you think? Is Wondrous Wasp actually going to be good enough? She's not bad. Okay, I'm going to try it. Just because I have good stuff on the field now. Do I want to go out with Sam here or with Cap? And I think it's Sam. Sorry. Whoa, not with Sam. With my boy, Real Cap. which I don't know what's wrong with me. I constantly forget about Steve Rogers' name. Like I just have this blank spot in my brain and I can't figure it out. Maybe I need to go to the doctor. All right, we get in for quite a bit of damage here, and then next turn we are pumping the team with this, and we do have the We Say Thee Nay. So there's a good chance that maybe we kill them next turn. Ultima. Counter. Let's go for it. No, we were not going to kill them, but we're going to do a lot of damage to them. We need practiced offense. We don't get the practiced offense. So this is quite a bit of damage, right? We're going to get pumped up a little bit. I think I'm not going to commit anything else to the board. That's 50. Boop, 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 boop. It was 15 points of damage. I actually didn't realize it was Xaxis Smoker taking it on the chin. Look at that. You can beat hard control if they stumble on lands a little bit. But We Say Thee Nay. Constantly impressing me. I mean, so far the running has been pretty good. And we're seeing what the deck can do. Hey, I like this hand. This hand's actually looking decent. We get... the one drops are going to be also another point of whether or not they're good enough. You know, like a little bit of a point of contention. Do I want to have 2? Do I really want to have 3 Maria Hills in the deck? I don't know. All of it is a little bit sketch. Take some damage, it's okay, and we're going to just throw out this Origin of the Avengers, the card that has been proving to be probably one of the most powerful things that for the hero deck. It's fantastic. Obviously, it needs to be played in a hero deck because of this singular word right here, a hero creature, but there are enough. Oh, heroes versus villains. Let's draw a card? No, let's get this Spidey-Man on the field. Spidey-Man. Then we're also going to put out this Origin of the Avengers, and I think probably Murray Hill. I don't think I want that. And Jennifer. Jennifer, not bad. Can I get her flipped? I don't know if I'm going to be able to flip her. I'm just going to use the mana here. I might want to draw next turn. So it's going to be a little bit of an awkward situation. I can put Jennifer Walters on the field with this trigger and then put the +1/+1 counters on it with this one. Norman to the field. What does Norman do? I actually don't even know. Oh, Norman's just straight up Spider-Man. So you know what? I think drawing a card is actually more important. And I actually think probably just getting him down. So what does he do? Norman can't be blocked. Whenever Norman Osmond deals combat damage to a player, he connives. And then you transform him into the Green Goblin for 4 mana. Green Goblin's a 3/3 that does stuff. Well, we're running out. We're going to get in for 7 points of damage. They're not going to do anything about this. And then next turn, the Origin of the Avengers is triggering again, putting the +1/+1 counter on everything. And we do have the protection from old Peter Parker over here. So it's looking okay. We're a little bit far away. She's obviously 6 mana to put out as the sensational She-Hulk, which is asking just a little bit. Yeah. Cool thing about the Origin of the Avengers, I'm surprised at just how often I actually opt to just draw a card, and how often just doing that, deciding to get a card, actually kind of feels decent. Okay, opponent needs something big here. Would have been nice to have hit a We Say Thee Nay, but the opponent stumbled. Villains, back to the raft with you, and we're climbing up. End of the season, are we going to make a run for top 1200? Nope. Nope. And that was 7 games down. 6-1 with the deck. Performing... I mean, it was performing well when I was playing it just on my phone, having fun that way. I get this on the field. This is awkward. Mana base awkward. So we go turn 1 Avengers Tower into Nick Fury or Kid Loki, and then turn 2 we're kind of just stuck. If we draw a white source though, like this hand just opens up, and we do have the We Say Thee Nay. but we need a white source, and I don't think I can trust the deck to give me a white source. Maybe I should have kept it. Now we're going down to 5. Oh, we're going down, down, down. All right. Well, oh man, I shouldn't have kept Origin of the Avengers. I wasn't looking at my mana closely enough. I was thinking about too many other things. We are toast now. Okay, I mean, Wondrous Wasp is good. We actually have one playable, but yeah, mana base sometimes can be awkward when you're running lands that are specific to a creature type and then also running things that are not in that creature type. Do I just get her onto the field? Yeah. Sure. Maybe she eats a burst lightning. Anyways, things running well. We might game number 8 here, obviously falling apart a little bit, and yeah. We're going to try our best. We'll stick in this one for just a few more draws. We'll see what the opponent's actually up to, but I have a feeling that this might just be a straight up loss because of, first of all, my stupidity. I should have kept Agent Phil. Phil would have been a better 2-drop, although he would have just died to the burst lightning as well. So, okay. Well, now, I think it's actually Origin of the Avengers over anything else, and these are all good. So next turn, do I need the land at this point? Is the question. I think maybe I don't. But the land is going to be good for the... You know what? I'm going to keep it. I haven't talked about it yet, but there's an ability on Avengers Tower. 4 mana, tap it. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may reveal a hero card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. The cool thing about that is it doesn't sacrifice itself. Where, like, a lot of cards that would do something similar to this, they would say, like, sacrifice this land. But Avengers Tower, holding strong. I don't know about keeping Murray Hill now. Now I'm looking at it. I think probably my brain was saying that I was going to get a +1/+1 counter on it. But yeah, I probably should have put her to the bottom. Maybe it was both cards to the bottom because I don't even have the 4 mana, or I need 5 mana for that. Ooh, trying to shock Captain America. That's fine. So Cap takes a shock. We might just be in trouble because the opponent is very much on spot removal, and they drew their spot removal with the flashback, burst lightning, and lightning helix, and all that stuff. And we went down to 5. So Avengers don't give up, though. They're gonna keep trying. Another lightning strike. Goodness gracious, the opponent has it. Okay. Do you have a pump too? No way, you don't have pump. Oh. Whoa, okay, blown out. GG, opponent. We're not sticking through this one. Ouch. Oh my goodness. Okay, all right. That was a WotC agent that was sent to stop this Avengers run. Woo. Thinking back to the attack from the Tursa. So there's kind of like layers to how I thought about what the opponent was doing. They attacked in, and my first instinct was they didn't realize that Captain America has first strike. So from my perspective, I assumed that because I'm still in the, oh, these are new cards and players aren't really paying attention. But it's a mythic level player. I need to respect the mythic level players' approach to the game more so than I did in that last game. Because if somebody's attacking in with a 3/3 against a 3/1 first striker, you know they have a plan. Most of the time. Bluffing is definitely a thing in Magic, and misplays are definitely a thing in Magic. And on Arena, if somebody does a misplay like that, they attack in and like, oh, I didn't realize it had first strike, you just take that L. But I shouldn't have blocked there. It was too much of a gamble to assume that because I was betting on the player not realizing something. And I think in Mythic, probably that's not what you want to be doing. That's okay. Lesson learned. We got punished, and that's okay. Now the opponent looks to be on Cavarro or Superior Spider-Man. We definitely don't want that. We probably want the We Say the Nay, because I don't know what this is. It could also be a Cornucopia deck. Awaken the Honored Dead, which means it is in fact a Cavarro deck. So here's the gamble spot. And I think it is going with the Origin of the Avengers. Because we do need to make sure that we find our... These are both okay. Jennifer is fine. Do I want the 5th land? Probably not. I also got punished keeping the land in previous games. We can put Wings of Freedom on the field. They don't have anything in their graveyard yet. So I'm not really scared of them doing Superior Spider-Man stuff. I don't really need to hold up the We Say Thee Nay. Uh-oh. Unfamiliar card spotted. What's that? Yojin of Night's Reach. When it enters with a divinity counter on it, if you cast it from your hand, has indestructible as long as it has a divinity counter on it, remove it. The opponent discards their hand. That's rude. So, let's just put out Jennifer. And pass the turn, holding up the We Say Thee Nay. And hopefully this second, third Origin of the Avengers can find us what we need to fight through this. I think we might be in a little bit of trouble. But Jennifer is going to be able to attack in over the Formidable Speaker because she's getting +1 from this and she'll get +1 from this. What are you bringing back? Oh, God, no. No, Doc Ock. Get out of here. We're not playing that game. No. Oh, Captain America pretty good here too. All right, let's get in for 4, maybe 8. Let's see. Always nice that Steve showed up. 5, 6, you put it in front of it, of course. And we got to hope that they just don't find 3 Varos. We could also, maybe I'm, man, I think attacking there was a little bit overzealous. If they had the land drop plus Kavaro, okay. They didn't have the land drop. We say the knee. Nay. Take that, Harvey. Get out of here. Done. I'm telling you, this might be the best card in the deck. It's incredible. All right, I believe this is going to be the 10th and final game. Things rolling well. We're ending with a positive win rate one way or another. And we have the Captain America, Thor, Doctor Strange combo. I did not a combo whatsoever. But this is the way we're going to go. A Spyglass Siren. Interesting. Not bad. Actually, pretty good draw. Pretty good draw. A Deep Cavern Bat. Let's just run out Spidey. They are probably going to take... Honestly, I think they're probably going to take Sam. Unless they have something big that they don't want us to counter. I think they take Sam because of flying first strike. Yep. As predicted. You got to get rid of Wings of Freedom. Hey, Origin of the Avengers is not bad. I think I would rather jam this onto the field just to make sure that the top of my library is looking juicy. And Helicarrier Strike, kind of good, maybe. We draw that next turn. We put out Captain America, hold up the We Say Thee Nay. Do I want 2 We Say Thee Nays? Maybe. Wait. And I don't think there's any... You know what? Yeah, let's attack in. I want to lull the opponent into like this false sense of attacking is fine with the Helicarrier Strike coming down the pipeline. Because I really want to get my Sam back. That's fine, I think. They don't know about the Helicarrier Strike. So we can more than likely get them on an attack next turn. And that doesn't matter. That sucks. that matters. Yeah, I guess they did take my card that I needed. Okay, it's fine. So we attack in. I see where the plan is. We're gonna probably save Peter Parker with the counter magic here. They're gonna attack in with their full team, try to gain a little bit of life. That sucks. That land sucks. That land sucks a lot. but we still do this. I don't think they're going to have counter magic here, and we still have 3 mana to pay for it unless it's a hard counter with like 3 steps ahead. I don't think they're buffing the Deep Cavern Bat, but perhaps the attack... See, the attack on the Spider-Man kind of had to happen because the Spider-Man can jump into the air and gain flying, so they wouldn't have attacked in knowing that. Although it was a 2/2, so maybe they would have challenged my Spider-Man, or maybe they just would have straight up killed it with Shoot the Sheriff. I don't know. Letting me untap here is interesting. Now we have Wondrous Wasp and... Captain America. Maybe they're sitting there holding the Shoot the Sheriff to hit Cap, but maybe we don't react. Blood Pitch Drowner. It taps down my boy for a couple of turns. I think it's fine. Okay. They're down to limited cards in hand right now. What am I saying? They have the same amount of cards that we have. They come in. I could flash in Juan Janet. I think this is actually okay. And try to put it in front of the Deep Cavern Bat. If they allow the block to happen, I'll be very happy. They might try to kill it before blocks are allowed to happen with the Shoot the Sheriff. But I really want to get my cards back. Okay. Tap down the Flood Pitch Drowner. It doesn't matter. It might force them to react to shuffle away Spider-Man. I don't think they will shuffle away Spider-Man, but possibly. And if they allow me to block here, I can do We Say Thee Nay by tapping down Janet, but I need to get the block off first. So if they react to the block... Whoa, I'm surprised by that. Okay, so no matter what, we get our cap back. They probably think that they can just kill Janet. Surprised. I am so surprised by that. Okay, and King T'Challa is very good here, right? We actually kind of need a land, is what we need. This game's turning into... Ah, man, we need them not to have lands. We need to find lands of our own, because I need 5 mana. You'll, have a full spread. Ninjutsu, I can't counter it. Dang. Okay. So, Kaito on the field, and they still have the emblemed. Dang. Too bad they didn't do... Too bad they didn't try to draw a card. It would have been nice. But I think they would have hit the T'Challa with the Shoot the Sheriff anyways. It doesn't really matter. So now what am I going to do? I got to deal with this thing, and we're missing on the lands, and I just can't... Dimir, when they get you under their thumb, and, they have that, like, good tempo... I don't know. These things really threw me off so much. Not being able to put something on the field with the Origin of the Avengers, I think, really put me into an awkward position. And do I just want to take 5 damage now? Yeah. Desperately need a land. I think it's done. No matter what I do here, it's done. The Kaido going up to a 6/7 next turn, and it's not even a land. Okay, she can still go out. It's fine. But we're not attacking. But now we got to put something underneath the Kaido. I was gonna say him going up to a 7. Yes, I could have 3 and 3 first strike damage. That's kind of cool. Put 2 stun counters on Cap. And I think there's really no reason to suffer through this one. Yeah, tough one. Sometimes Dimir, their game plan works very well. Obviously, it doesn't matter what I do here. I'm just going to take the lethal damage here, right? Because what am I doing? I'm chump blocking. That feels great. We needed lands. We needed things to come out in our favor a little bit more. That's just... I hate games like this. Sometimes you get a game like this, and it just feels like it was close to jiving, and then it just didn't. Like, the opponent just had the exact things they needed at the right moments, and your things were just like not clicking into place. So you have the wrong puzzle pieces, and I just hate the way it plays out. Oh well. All right, so the Heroes deck playing fairly well. A couple of things that are jumping out now that that's a lot of games underneath my belt. The cards that felt the Kid Loki didn't even really show up. Kid Loki, whatever. I'm not really sure about the one drops. Maybe we could go a little bit lighter on Maria Hill. Maybe just like 2 here. Helicarrier Strike. Also, probably we just need to play better removal. I think it's cool to have it in here because it's thematic, but at the same point, you could just play Erode. Probably that's better because you are a fairly aggressive deck. Giving your opponents 1 land is maybe not the biggest deal. Yeah, probably also need to go up a little bit more on lands. 21 lands felt brutal. Probably needs to be 22. It just didn't really come together often enough. There was too many times when I was complaining about lands, but we also flooded, but that's the variance of Magic, whatever. The cards that were impressive basically were everything in the 2 and 3 slot. We didn't see the practiced offense really do too much, but in the play testing games that I played, this was the card that just like won games for me. And there were a few times when it did win in the recorded games, I believe. But overall, good. I would also say, I mean, you could probably trim King T'Challa down 1 if you're not looking to craft too many of them. Like, this is an expensive deck as well. Obviously, many of the new cards are going to be rares. It's the same problem that the Allies deck has. Everything is rare and mythic. But Captain America, great. They're still fantastic. I love these cards. Origin and the Avengers, great. Spectacular Spider-Man finally finding a place. I think it's fantastic in this deck. I want to keep the Wasp. I do kind of like King T'Challa because of the Flash, sure. But what needs to be fixed is probably the 1 slot. Need to figure out a better game plan here. Either a more powerful starting thing to go with, or more support cards in the 1 slot. I'm not really sure exactly. Maybe Spell Pierce, honestly, might not be the worst idea to bring in. Spell Pierce, Erode, that's where my mind is going right now. So if you're looking at this deck and you have some ideas, do let me know. But yeah, Heroes, I think somebody's going to crack the code. I don't think I'm going to be that person, but here is a pretty good starting point, and it kind of showcases that, yep, Heroes do have some legs. They can definitely bring some damage to the opponents very quickly. That's it for this one. I am ready to not play Magic because of how arduous that intro was. I'm still feeling the effects of that intro. But that's it for this one. Take care for now. Sarang Ipana, and I hope all of you wonderful people have a great week. Take care for now. Bye-bye.